Several countries have restrictions or limitations on social media due to a variety of reasons, such as government censorship, national security concerns, cultural values, and political control. Some countries where social media is limited or forbidden include 1. China. The Chinese government heavily regulates and censors social media platforms through the Great Firewall, restricting access to global social media giants like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Instead, China has its own state-controlled social media platforms, such as WeChat, Weibo, and QQ. 2. North Korea. Social media access in North Korea is severely limited due to the government's strict control over internet access and information flow. The country operates its closed internet system, providing limited access to a handful of government-approved websites and content. 3. Iran. The Iranian government imposes restrictions on social media platforms, periodically blocking access to popular services such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This is often tied to political unrest and attempts to suppress dissent. 4. Turkmenistan. The government of Turkmenistan maintains tight control over internet access and imposes restrictions on social media platforms to limit the flow of information and maintain political control. 5. Cuba. While access to the internet and social media in Cuba has been historically limited due to infrastructure and economic reasons, the government also imposes restrictions and censorship on platforms to control the flow of information and restrict access to outside influences. In these countries, the restrictions on social media are often related to government efforts to maintain control over information, limit dissent, and uphold cultural and ideological values. It's important to note that these are just a few examples, and there are other countries with varying degrees of limitations on social media for similar or different reasons. Here are a few more countries with restrictions on social media usage. 6. Vietnam. The government of Vietnam has implemented strict regulations on social media platforms, monitoring and censoring content that is deemed critical or sensitive to the ruling Communist Party. This includes restrictions on political discussions and expressions of dissent. 7. Saudi Arabia. Social media is subject to heavy censorship and monitoring in Saudi Arabia, as the government seeks to control the flow of information and prevent the spread of content that may be considered offensive or contrary to Islamic values. Platforms such as Twitter and Facebook are closely monitored and sometimes blocked. 8. Russia. The Russian government implements various measures to control and monitor social media, including laws requiring data localization and restrictions on content deemed extremist or harmful to national security. 9. Egypt. The Egyptian government has imposed restrictions on social media, particularly during times of political unrest, by blocking access to platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp to control the dissemination of dissenting views and information. 10. Belarus. The government in Belarus exercises control over social media platforms by regularly monitoring and censoring content that is critical of the authorities or the state, and restricting access to certain platforms during political tension or protests. The diversity of limitations on social media in these countries, influenced by factors such as government censorship, national security concerns, cultural values, and political control, inspires us to appreciate the value of free speech and the benefits it brings to our lives. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel for more videos. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment to join the conversation. Your support means a lot to me and helps me create more content for you. Thank you.